Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Deborah, and today I wanted to show you some more of those side pockets, but this time using my Tim Holtz paper dolls. I've been playing around this morning and thought I'd share those ideas with you. The first thing though is to show you the tie that I did the other day. Somebody asked me could I show them how I did that bow, and I thought that I could, but I actually went to look for it and it was one of the ones that I've sent off. So it's off to America, so I can't show you that one. Pretty sure it was just when I did the tie. So there's a couple of different ways. One would just be to do the tie. I've got a long piece of seam binding here. It's just to do the tie with the bow, which I think is what I did last time. And then leave yourself enough of a tail so you can get a second bow out of it and just tie it again like that. Let me just do that for you. Now you have to fiddle a little bit to get it to tie tight, or I did anyway. So just hold them both and then just pull them both at the same time, and then you get that nice double bow, and you can clip this bit off if you want, or you could leave them both long and you get two bows like that on your tag. So I can't remember who that was, but whoever that was, there it is. And the other thing that you could do, which is what I do for some of my home decor, and I'm not sure it's going to work too well with the seam binding, but we'll try it, is that you create a loop and you make sure you create like a triple loop, so you've got it going around 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you hold all of that and you tie it up into a bow. I'm probably looking quite awkward doing that. I tend to do everything backwards, so I apologise for that. I don't know whether it's a bit of left-handedness coming out in me or not. But anyway, and then you would get like the triple bow. Now that's really good if you've got something where you've got an edged ribbon that's got wire on the edges of it, and you can get really nice bows doing it that way. So that but you really have to fiddle with them. They're not something that happens just by, you know, quickly flipping them over. So you could do that. That wouldn't fit through here, through that tag. So you'd obviously have to, let me grab that back in, you'd obviously have to stick that on there. If you did it that way, you could stick it on there. You'd have to tidy this mess up a bit, just fiddle around with it. So you could glue it on there, or you could put a piece of the seam binding through and tie that on there at the back. So that would be another way. And in fact, that would be even another way still, is don't tie it up on the front like this. And then you can make your loops a lot smaller if you did it like this. So if you do 1, 2, 3 loops, and then if you put this here like this, and then push a piece of seam binding through from the other side, and then you could tie that on like that. Let me just grab the other end and show you how that would look. Just push this through. So you'd have to push this through twice, create a loop, or you could push it through once just by pushing the loop through. I'm not sure it really matters which way you do it actually. You'd have a loop through there like that, and then you'd get your 3 loops that we just made, push them through that bigger loop through there, and then pull all that from the back. And when you pull that from the back, you should then be able to position this where you want it, and then tie it up at the back so you've got nice fluffy ribbon with lots of looping on it. So that would be another way to do it. And you'd get a nice fluffy looking ribbon then. So there's some ideas for you. I'm sure you can experiment with those and see what you can do. So yesterday, as I was finishing these, I thought I'd really like to have some fun with my paper dolls. So I've made 2 more. And as I said, I've been sitting down playing this morning and thought, oh, I might just do a video on this. A bit crazy, but why not? So what I thought was, don't make them into pockets. Leave it so it'll open up like that. And then when you fold it over, position your doll, whatever doll you're using, and I've specifically chosen the doll with the puppy on it, and put that here like that, and then get another doll that's got its arm out like this little boy, and you can have this little boy patting the puppy How cute is that? And then when you open it up, you would have the little doll inside. So let's do that. I'll stick this one down because I thought this was really quite funny. It's my sense of humour coming out again. What you need to do though is you need to position it in the right place. So see how we're going to do that. So instead of being a pocket, it would be a journaling spot. So you don't really want to see too much of that girl who's behind there. Okay, so if we put the puppy down there, I might have to push her over. Oh no, that'd be fine there. Because once the little boy goes down, his arm kind of hides the rest of her. Put him down. Now, I just put glue on his arm, and I don't want glue on his arm because his arm will be like free standing. It'll be hanging over the edge of the page, and you don't want him to stick. So we put him down there so that when you open this up, you can still open him up like that, and he's got his arm there. So I'll continue on, and I thought maybe I could use this. I always find these sorts of things hard to use because they're quite sort of in your face. But I thought if I just tucked a half of it away, it might work. So what I'm going to do is find my little cutter. I do want quite a straight edge on this, as straight as I can get it anyway. And then put it down the centre of the face. And then we can put this in here. Like that. Now when you open that up, you're only going to have a half a face, but I'll do something about that in a moment. If you made this into a pocket, you wouldn't have to worry about that. I'm going to put her, put the other side of the face on this side, definitely now. Made a decision at last. Put that right on the edge of that paper. And I'm going to get a different little girl, or maybe a smaller girl. I think this one's a bit tinier. Yeah, she's sort of a bit tinier, isn't she? She's still too big for that though. I like this little girl. I like the way she's got her feet positioned. They're sort of like floppy, there they are. And I can sit her up, like I could sit her on here. Sit her on the nose. No, I'll definitely sit her up on the eye like this. So she's just kind of coming on the edge of that moon, or whatever it's meant to be, this face. Like that. Then when you open this up, you'll see this little girl. Now I'll need to put something here, or you could just use that as part of the journaling spot. But I would like to put something on the other side of this one. And then that's going to go inside here. But I wanted to cut around where that is. So the line I'm cutting on is this line all the way around to there, and I want to cut on the top of it. Now I've cut that on the wrong line, but that's okay, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this last little bit inside so that it matches up on that edge. Okay, I might put it down first, I think, and then work out what I can put on the outside of it. And remember that this is your personal taste. So you can say I've got terrible taste, but it's I want something that looks a bit quirky. And I think that this is fitting the brief. So when you're like that, you can't see it. When you open it up, you reveal that and the little girl. And then also whatever else I'm going to put in here. And then I'm going to sit this little girl so she's sitting on the edge of the ring here. So you're not going to see these until you open the piece up to do your journaling. I think that's enough on that one. I might put some more stuff on it later. I might get something else and put on it, and some paper. But I think you get the idea that you can do something like that, and it doesn't have to be the pocket. The pocket, the side pocket, is what gave me the idea to do this, or I wouldn't have done it. This one, I wanted to do the bridal couple. Here they are. So again, I'm going to hide her away. Hide the bridal couple, it's called. No, not really. And then I had him, and I thought I could put him down here. And I had the other, what else did I have? I had this little girl here, And then I had a guy. Now where did, oh maybe I had her, because she was a bit smaller. Yep. So she's there as well, although she's not quite tall enough, is she? Because she's going to be hidden by that little girl. I have to make sure to put nothing at that edge, because otherwise I won't be able to turn it. If I want to turn it, which I do, this is like a hidden journaling spot. So I do want to be able to turn it and open it. She is too big. Let's see what else I had. I had this guy here. He looks very regal, doesn't he? And once again, I have to make sure I get her in the correct place. So her head's not showing. I've got a little bit of her veil showing, but that's all right, because this guy is going to sort of be slightly off the edge of the paper. So remember not to put any glue down on that edge. And he's standing on the same level now, but he looks like he's forward, and that's fine because that guy is sort of like behind and this guy's to the front, and so is this girl. I like her. And then on the back, I'm going to have this little boy here. Now he'll show on the front too. And when you open it up, you'll see the bride as well. Put him off slightly. I don't want him to cover up the dude. Don't want to cover the white gloves, but I want him to be part of the group. So now he's part of that group. So I've sort of positioned them into a group. I like doing this with my dolls. It's like playing house with them. I'll introduce some of this Stamperia stuff. These are clocks, obviously, from that new size of embellishment pad, or whatever you call it. I'm not sure what it's called, but I might introduce a bit of different colour, different brand, and I think that will work okay. I like this clock. Now I've decided I want to cut this clock with my punch. I think it's a tiny bit too small, the punch, not the clock. And I remembered that, I think it was Janet Dawkins from Crafty Dork told me how you can do this, because I was trying to put that in there and it's very, very difficult. I've got a post-it note. I'm going to stick it on there, and that gives me a handle basically. Now I can put it around here now and try and get that in and punch it, so I get that nice even edge. And there you go. How clever is that? Very, very smart suggestion. So these clocks on this page are just the tiniest little bit too small for the, too big for the punch. But when you punch it, it's actually not too bad. I'm not sure how this one will go. It might be a bit too big, this one. I was sort of half cutting it and I stopped because I remembered that tip that Janet gave me. That's going to take off too much on that one. So I've just got that stuck on there, and I'm going to push it in like this, and I think that should look okay. Now it's probably going to take most of that, the coloured edge off. So I'm going to trim it down a little bit more around that edge, and this way you'll get a nice round clock, and they'll both be the same size. So I'm just going to take that, position it right where I think it needs to go. It's quite hard actually, because your hand wants to keep moving, and then punch, and then you've got another clock, and they're both the same size, which is what I wanted. There you go. That's not my tip, that came from Janet. So Crafty Dork she is. She does the most beautiful slow stitching and lots of other things as well, but her slow stitching is amazing. So you should go and have a look. Now the reason why I wanted this after all that was because I thought that I'd put the clocks down and they'd be like this. So when you open them up, you'd see the other one underneath. So I might put that one on top. What do you think? And this one on the bottom, because at least with this one I can see where the 12 and the 6 are. So I'm going to get that in the right position, and then this one will go on top like that. Obviously I'll put it up the right way though. just close that up while I position this one. So I want it halfway through the 6, and I suppose it's got a, no, it has. There's a little mark that I'm aiming for on the clock to get that at the halfway point. Okay, and then this one, I need to find the top of it, which is here, the 12, and it again has got some little dots that I can follow on this. Get him right over the top of the other one, so that when you open it, you still have the clock there. So what I might do is take another one of those clocks that I was just playing with. Get this one. And give it a little haircut so I can get into the thing with my whole, circle punch, otherwise it's going to be difficult to get in there. I've still got a little bit of this I can use. Let's do that again. Now if you've got a bit of paper hanging off your whatever you're cutting, you don't need to use the sticky note. The sticky note was just, I'm using it because I don't have that option. And also because you can hold it a lot more steady if you're doing it this way. A little bit there. And then what I'm going to do is stick this clock on the back of that clock there, so I've got one on each side. I could put another person here actually. I wonder if I'll do that. See what other people I've got that are standing up nice and straight. I could put the little girl with the flag, but I think she's a bit too tiny. Yeah, she looks like a bit of a midget against those. I don't think I've got anything else here on the table actually. Oh yes, I have this one. I was going to use her before. I'll put the bridesmaid in. Just get rid of the bits from her. Now, I think her bouquet is going to be an issue, so let me see what I can do with her bouquet. So there's that one and there's that one, and I think that they look really cool. Something different and a different take on a journaling spot for your junk journals. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Cheers.